Hello and welcome along to another episode of this Cricket 19 career with me, Daniel. It's episode 41 and today we're back for the last four of the T20 Vitality Blast. It's Yorkshire v Leicestershire as we bid for a place in the final, and hopefully at the end we'll have been successful and find out if we face Kent or Hampshire. That'll be the end of finals day. Of course we will split it across two episodes, but I'm making the assumption we're going to get through already, something which certainly isn't a given. So let's quickly go back to the Career Hub to look at what our schedule's like for the next few weeks. Of course there's a maximum of 2 T20 Blast games left, and then we go back to finish the first class season. There's 3 more games left for Yorkshire, and hopefully we'll win a title after that. And then at the end of that we'll be going over to Australia, playing abroad for the first time about a month later. We'll be playing in the Sheffield Shield, the first class tournament over there, and fingers crossed we'll be able to make a big contribution. As you saw early in the season we signed for a star-studded team. We've also been made skipper for that competition too, so we can really come back on our bowling a bit. Much flatter pitches over there, so we'll suit the seam and bounce, and we won't have to get involved too much, and hopefully we'll be able to score big runs. So that's the winter we've got to look forward to. Our first move abroad, and it's just after we increase the difficulty, but for now we want to get into the semi-final of the T20 Blast. Hopefully we can add another short form trophy. Of course we won the one-day tournament earlier this season, and we were a huge contribution for Yorkshire in that, and likewise in the last episode, the quarter-final, we were fantastic and took player of the match after doing well with both bat and ball. We looked a bit streaky, but we managed to do the job, and I guess that's the important bit as we go along. And again we've got another medium standard pitch. Those dried grassy conditions from the summer are over. We're now well into autumn and we're back to the usual overcast conditions. So a massive thank you to everyone who's following the series so far. I really do appreciate your support with it, and if you are enjoying the content then please subscribe for regular videos from this Cricket 19 career and the impending release of FM20. But we're going to go and get into this T20 Blast semi-final, and we'll be back in a moment for the toss against Leicestershire. We're back for the toss for the semi-final. Still no sign of Joe Root unfortunately, so him and Bairstow the international still away. Who called? It was Yorkshire who called, but Leicestershire have won the toss, so let's see what they opt to do. I'd imagine they'll probably bowl first. It seems to be the pattern generally. Again they have chosen to bowl, so we'll be back to face our first ball in a moment. Well, before we face the first ball actually, I'm a little bit confused now. If we go and have a look at our batting line-up here, we're opening with Gary Ballance, which is strange enough in itself, but Joe Root and Johnny Bairstow are both back from international duty, so that means someone else has leapfrogged us to become captain, because Joe Root was doing it at the start of the year, and he's no longer in that role. So a really strong side for us, and I hope that'll help us towards the end of this tournament, and fingers crossed they'll both be there for the final as well. If the game's realistic, that should be the case, as normally the semis and final are on the same day. I guess the one thing that worried me in that sense is I think it said it was a 7:30 start again. It is, so surely they're being played separately. Maybe that's where the realism falls down. But let's get back in and face the first ball. It looks like a fast bowler and a left armer over the wicket, so we're going to have to play through the offside, are we? We don't, we flick it to leg and the fielder dives and stops it brilliantly. Normally that would run away for 4. Second ball of the over. Can we find a gap in the field? We tried to split those two fielders on the leg side again, and I'm starting to worry I might have to take the aerial route, something that's a risk this early in the game. Alternatively we can play through the offside, but we're equally streaky in that sense, so let's just see what we can do with this. It was wide outside off and we went for it, and unfortunately it's straight through to the keeper. 3 dot balls to start the innings, and perhaps the nerves on the big stage are showing. Let's see if we can finally get off the mark. We're just going to try and tickle this one down to square leg. We get a single and that's all we needed. We'll let Gary Ballance be the aggressor today. Well, Ballance has opted just to go for a single as well. He's managed to do his first ball though. We just go for the same route again. I know it's the safe approach, but we just need to get off the mark and make sure we don't have a failure on the big stage. 3 without loss after 1 over, and at least we've got all our wickets in hand. Ben Micah, right arm medium pacer over the wicket. They've set a really good field here, and again we're just forced for the single to the leg side. I can't see anywhere we can go big without having to go for the aerial route. We'll give it 2 or 3 overs and then we will go for it if need be, but I'm hoping the gaps will appear soon. Third over and it's Griffiths in, the pace bowler over the wicket. Short ball on leg stump and we just miss it. Beats the outside edge and through to the keeper. Gary balances on 9 off 6 at the other end, so he's certainly given us a bit of respite, and it just allows us to build into our innings, but we are going to have to start to score runs soon. This one we might get to, but the fielder's there quick, so 4 runs off our first 8 deliveries, probably not the start we were looking for. Well, Gary balances flying now, 17 off 11 deliveries, we've gone big to the leg side, we took the aerial route and we split the fielders perfectly. It's our first boundary as it runs away for 4, just a couple of bounces on its way to the boundary. We might go for the same again if it's on leg stump, again the medium pacer and we've edged it to the offside, nowhere near where we wanted to go with that. We were aiming for the same shot as the last ball, but we get through for a comfortable single. Balance into the 20s as the spinners come in for the first time. There is a big gap on the leg side. I'm not sure if we're going to find it though. Certainly not with a shot like that, as we have to cancel the run quickly. I'm almost tempted to try the sweep with the angle we've got there, but in the end it may be better just to play along the ground. Oh, it's been mopped up. I might have run balance out. The wicket keeper didn't take it quickly, and we just about got through for 1. A terrible decision to run there, and I would have been responsible for that run out. Here comes Parkinson again, the left arm angle around the wicket really causing us trouble. In the end we have to go down to straight off, and it is just going to be 1 more to the total. Griffiths back in with 5 overs gone, and we're joined by Joe Root, the England captain. Balance has got himself out unfortunately. We tried to go big over the top to the leg side, and it's going to be another dot ball. We're 11 off 14, it's really been a disappointing start. This one we've got to try and find a boundary with. It was the perfect delivery for us, right on leg stump. Full so we could just hack it away, and it goes to our favourite boundary for 4 as we go back on to 15 off 15. The strike rate's up to 100 again, and now we can risk a couple of big shots. So we're going to go for another big one on the leg side, and we've completely missed it again. Another dot ball, but they've opened up loads of space on the leg side now. It's a short ball which we pull away. A brilliant shot, and I don't know if the fielder will get there. He tries to run around from the deep, but unfortunately he doesn't beat the ball to the rope, and we get another boundary in the over. We certainly would have taken 8 runs off 4 balls, and now with the penultimate one we try and do it again. This time it's not as fine, but it does go for 4. 12 off the over and we're finding our rhythm, and we're ending the power play in the finest possible style. Last ball of the power play then. The run rate's just above 8 at the moment. 47 for 1 and we find the boundary again. Another 4 to the leg side. 16 off the over after balance gets out, and we come into form and start playing aggressively. Joe Root faces his first ball at the other end. He's scored 1 and now we're facing the spinner. Here comes Parkinson over the wicket, this time the left arm spinner. We played him through the covers and the fielder's chasing into the deep. He does really well to get around and prevent the boundary. Just 1 run added to the total. Joe Root returns the favour again. He's not taking too many risks at the moment either, so we play through the leg side just for 1, and we'll try and take that usual approach in the middle overs, 5 or 6 and over off the spinner, and then go ballistic towards the end. 7 overs gone and we're still looking pretty handy on 57 for 1. The quick bowler's come in and he's beaten the outside edge. We're starting to show a little bit of pressure now. We're back facing pace again. The first one whistled past the outside edge. This one we're trying to get away to leg side. Didn't quite get the power we were looking for. Just a single in the end. If we get anything on off stump, I think we're going to go big, but in the end it's a short ball outside leg. We tried to play it off the back foot, but we've gone too fine and it's missed the stumps. Another dot ball after Joe Root puts us back on strike, and we're facing these short ones outside leg stump. We probably could have left that one to be a wide, but in the end we run through for another 1. It's 8 overs gone, the medium pacer's back in, all the fielders are in on the offside, so we're going to go massive down the ground. I think he's going to catch that, we haven't quite caught it. Is it going to reach? I think he's caught, is he? What's happened? I don't know. He's been caught on the boundary. We couldn't get the best angle in the light, but it is caught right on the rope, and unfortunately we're out going for the big one. Let's see if we get a better look from the replay here. It might not be as close to the rope as we thought. It was comfortable in the end with a couple of yards, and it never looked like making it to the boundary. It went higher rather than out, and unfortunately we're caught on 31 off 26. A solid start to the innings, but not as explosive as normal. Jack Leaning joins the England skipper now. Let's see if they can put on a good score. Well, we're back into bowl after 9 overs of the Leicestershire innings. Yorkshire batted out theirs, 182 for 3, a massive score in the end. Leaning stayed solid throughout on 40 not out off 34, but Joe Root the star with 67 off 38, and that's the difference having him back in the side. So we weren't explosive, but we were a decent anchor, and again it's not a failure, something that's important at T20 level. Leicestershire struggling to 67 for 2, not averaging too much, about 7.5 and over, and they're going to need a lot more than that to go at 9s, as they trail by 115 runs with just over half the innings remaining. So George Munsey's looking good, 36 off 19 for him. The rest haven't been too good so far, so hopefully we can keep it economical. David Willey's 0 for 1, so he must have had a really good over. Just 1 run conceded off his first, and it looks like we're going to be the key 2 bowlers. So let's go and set our preferred field as normal, and we'll be back in a moment to deliver our first ball. We've set our usual field then. You're probably used to it from the T20 blast this season. All the catching men on the ropes trying to invoke that big shot, but this one's simple to the fielder in the circle, and it's easily dealt with a dot ball to start. If we can restrict Munsey, that'll really help the side out, as if he has to show a little bit of aggression or loses his discipline, that's the best chance of us taking his wicket. Another dot ball off the doosra, and it's a really good start to the over for us. After a good start, let's see what the flighted delivery does. That's normally the one the batsmen are more aggressive off. We're going to go a little wider outside off. He's managed to hook it to the leg side, exposed his stumps but got away with it, but the fielder gets round to restrict him to a single. Hopefully the other batsman's a right-hander and we'll be able to get a bit more joy to him. Well, unfortunately not. He is a left-hander as well, but we're going to try and tempt him into a big one, just outside off to see if he's aggressive, but he's defended it very simply. Unfortunately, Dearden's a left-hander as well, but we did get a dot ball off our first to him. We tried to tempt him into an edge, this time we're at the stumps, and he flicks away to the leg side. I think they'll probably get 2 for that. But 3 runs off the first 5 balls, not bad at all for a return. It's Dearden again then as we finish with a top spinner. Normally this one's quite successful, straight at the legs, and he goes big to the leg side, and we might have to rethink our field for this one, as that's gone for 4, so we finish on 7. Well, we've not had another bowl. I have no idea what's going on. Normally we get 3 or 4 overs in the T20 blast. We've not been given another chance after conceding just 7 off our over, and Leicestershire romped to victory with 2 balls to spare, and I'm so devastated we didn't get a chance to bowl. So no T20 blast final for us, and the skipper's got a lot to answer for there. We did a decent job on a personal level, 31 runs and then 7 conceded off our over, but I cannot work out why we weren't given more deliveries. I'm guessing because one of the pace bowlers was the captain. So a desperately disappointing end to the episode, and a surprisingly quick one as well. So let's go back to the career hub and see where we stand, and if there's any progress we can make with our player. Well, you can see we're edging ever closer to that next batting ability point, and I'm really disappointed actually. Just think, if that ball had gone the extra couple of yards for 6 rather than being caught on the boundary, we probably would have levelled up there, and we would have obviously got closer to our 6s objective. So fingers crossed we'll be able to make that progress soon, as our batting ability does need to improve, particularly as we're getting close to international level soon. So let's go through to our next first class game. That one will play off camera against Gloucestershire, then we face Glamorgan over in Wales, before finishing at home to Kent. I'm hoping we'll be able to do well, as we are top of the table at the moment, but of course Kent are in second, so that could be a title decider, and hopefully we'll be able to get promotion to Division 1. Let's quickly have a look at our career player, mainly to look at our statistics, and the one I'm interested in is the selection status, as well as our T20 batting stats. So for this season I want to see how we've got on. We're in 2022 now, so in the T20 blast we played 16 matches, 3 not out, 600 runs, an average of over 45, and an agonising 99 high score. So really good with the bat, and not too bad with the ball either actually. 5.4 economy is exceptionally good. That's up there with the likes of Rashid Khan in T20 competitions. An average of just over 10, best figures of 5 for 14, and 26 wickets for 270. 300 deliveries, and we're taking a wicket almost 1 in 10. That's absolutely sensational early on, and we've also got a couple of 5-wicket hauls. Then finally the selection status, and have a look at what's going on here. We've got being considered for an international match, the Tour of Ireland ODI series only. We're a fair way off one of the ODI series for England and a long way off a few of the others. So really good progress so far, but the one I'm really interested in is that Test series against Pakistan. We're a long way off for that one, and it's the one I'm really hoping we can make. So a good finish to the first class season here, hopefully helping Yorkshire win the title, and then going over to Australia and starting a Sheffield Shield well, really could help us into that England Test team. But of course our ODI form early in the season was always going to attract attention, and we're now expecting selection for some of the T20 tournaments around the world after our form in the Blast this year. So it's been a really brilliant season for us, one of the big milestone moments of our career, and I hope you'll continue to join me for the rest as we try to make our way to the top of English cricket. But if you did enjoy this episode and that unfortunate defeat in the T20 Blast semi-final, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments if you have any theory on why we weren't given a chance. Normally we bowl off 3 or 4 overs, but in that one we were just given the one, and although it wasn't our most economical, we were certainly doing well to support the team. Again, we seem to be back in decent form with the bat, despite the odd ropey shot still, so I'm hoping that's a sign of good things to come as we get back into the longer form of cricket now. Of course the long term objective is to emulate Alistair Cook, and these games are going to be the key ones in doing so. Subscribe to the channel for daily FM20 content from the end of October, once the beta's been released. We've been announcing our series and some of the planned content on the channel over the next year, so if you haven't seen those, please do go back and catch up. We've had an episode on each of the last 2 Saturdays, and there's also a playlist listed FM20. So go and check them out if you haven't seen them yet. There's a couple of votes in there so you can help shape the content on the channel, and I'm really looking forward to getting started, so I hope you'll come and join me to see it too. This Cricket 19 career continues every Tuesday and Saturday at midday. We'll continue with 2 episodes a week long term until we reach our objectives in this series. And then our Snooker 19 career is heading towards a conclusion. That's on Friday at 4:30. We're trying to go out with glory by winning the Snooker World Championship, and you can come and join us on Fridays for action from every round as we try and make it all the way to the final. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support with the series as always. I really do appreciate it, and I hope to see you next time for another big game as we try to win the first class title.